Before you can receive revelation, something within you must grow quiet. The mind that seeks must fall silent before the truth that is. Joel S. Goldsmith called this stillness the threshold of awareness. It is not a new teaching. It asks the rediscovery of what you have always been. Revelation is not a voice from the sky. It's the whisper of your own being revealing itself. You don't go out to find God. You awaken to the presence that has never left you. That awakening is what he called the infinite way. Today, we call it Revelation Reloaded. The original revelation happened long before words, when awareness first said, I am. That I am was not a person speaking. It was life knowing itself. Everything since has been an echo of that moment. Every discovery, every act of love, every creative impulse, all are sparks of the same realization repeating itself endlessly. But most people miss it because they keep looking outward, toward things, goals, beliefs, and results, forgetting that every experience is the reflection of their own consciousness. Goldsmith said, "You will never find truth until you stop seeking it as something outside yourself." And in that single sentence lies the key to freedom. Revelation is not learning something new. It is remembering something ancient. When the mind drops its arguments, when emotion surrenders its noise, you feel it, a subtle awareness watching, untouched, eternal. That is where revelation begins. In the old world, revelation was feared. Prophets were exiled, mystics silenced, truth buried. But now humanity stands at a threshold again. We are no longer content with belief. We crave direct experience. That's why this is Revelation Reloaded. The same truth reborn for a world that's ready to live it consciously. Let's start at the beginning. Imagine the vast universe as a silent ocean. Each thought is a ripple, each feeling a wave. But the ocean itself never moves. It simply allows motion to appear within it. You are that ocean, not the wave. And revelation is the moment you stop identifying as the wave. Goldsmith said, "Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord." He didn't mean to wait for a miracle. He meant, be still long enough to see that the miracle is already here. When you stop reacting, life reveals its perfection. When you stop judging, love reveals itself as your nature. And when you stop searching, revelation begins. There's a story from Goldsmith's life. A woman came to him weeping over her illness. She begged him to pray. He nodded, closed his eyes, and said nothing. Minutes passed, silence, stillness. Then gently he whispered, "God is." Nothing more. Within days, she was healed. No magic, no ritual. Only realization. That is revelation. The mind dissolving into truth. Science is beginning to touch the same mystery. Quantum physics tells us that matter does not exist in fixed form until it is observed. The act of awareness collapses potential into experience. Goldsmith said the same decades earlier, that consciousness itself appears as form. You are not observing the universe. You are the awareness through which the universe observes itself. Every event in your life is consciousness reflecting back to you what you are holding within. When you know this, you stop trying to fix the reflection and turn instead toward the light that casts it. That turn, from outer to inner, is the moment of revelation. Pause right now. Listen to the space between these words. There, in that stillness, the same life that spoke through the prophets and poets breathes through you. It has no name, yet it says, "I am." That is revelation in motion, awareness recognizing itself as the source. You don't get revelation, you become revelation. Every realization of truth is the infinite making itself known through form. When you understand that, ordinary life becomes sacred. The breath, the morning light, the sound of rain, all of it speaks the same language. I am. Goldsmith said, "Revelation is not outside time. It is the unveiling of eternity within time." Every moment you awaken, the universe awakens with you. Because consciousness has no borders, it's one infinite field. Now let's go deeper. In the old teaching, revelation was reserved for saints and prophets. In truth, it belongs to everyone. The same divine spark that moved through Christ, Buddha, and Goldsmith moves through you now. You don't need religion to reach it, only awareness. When you quiet the mind and listen, you feel it. A gentle warmth in the heart, a peace that needs no reason. A knowing that doesn't come from thinking. That is the presence revealing itself. The more you dwell there, the more it takes over every aspect of life. Fear loses its foundation. Decisions become effortless. Healing happens without struggle. Because revelation is not information, it is transformation. Let's look at an example from daily life. A man loses his job and spirals into fear. But one night, unable to fight anymore, he sits quietly and simply says, "I am." For the first time in weeks, he feels peace. The next day, opportunities arise from nowhere. What changed? Not the world, his consciousness. Revelation unfolded as new reality. Goldsmith said, "The outer world is always the shadow of inner realization." The moment you realize wholeness, life rearranges to reflect it. That's why trying to change effects never works. The cause is consciousness itself. Revelation reloaded is the moment the world finally understands that. We are no longer separate from the divine. We are the expression of it. When you speak truth silently within, the universe responds in harmony. This is not philosophy, it's living physics. Consciousness creates coherence. Every thought of love strengthens the field. Every act of awareness balances the whole. Your realization touches galaxies. Your silence heals. Think of it like music. A single note, when played in tune, harmonizes with every other note. That note is your consciousness. When it is in tune with the infinite, life becomes symphony. When it is discordant with fear and control, life becomes noise. Revelation is tuning back to truth. Goldsmith called it the practice of presence. You return again and again to I am, until it becomes natural, not a mantra, but a state of being. Here's the paradox. The more you seek revelation, the less you find it. Because seeking implies absence. Revelation arrives only when the seeker dissolves. When there is no you left to find truth, truth finds itself as you. That's why all mystics eventually fall silent. They realize words can point, but only silence can reveal. Even now, between each sentence, that silence is here. Alive, luminous, unchanging. Pause. Listen. That awareness watching is the same one that watched at the beginning of creation. It never started and will never end. It is the infinite invisible. It is the I am. Let's bring this home. You may be wondering, how do I live revelation every day? Goldsmith gave one simple practice: awareness. Be aware of awareness. Whether you are walking, eating, talking, stay inwardly attentive to the presence that animates all. It doesn't need your effort. It needs your remembrance. The moment you remember, revelation flows. You begin to feel guided, not by ideas, but by intelligence itself. It arranges your steps, your timing, your relationships. Life stops being random. It becomes orchestration. Revelation Reloaded is not about religion or doctrine. It's about direct experience. To feel the unseen moving through you. To realize that the kingdom of heaven is consciousness itself. To live not by will, but by grace. Goldsmith said, "Grace is the rhythm of being. You cannot force it, you can only join it. And when you do, everything aligns. Health, peace, abundance, love. Because the universe is not withholding anything. It's waiting for awareness to recognize itself. When revelation dawns, the personal self dissolves like mist in sunlight. You no longer say, "I have faith." You are faith. You no longer say, "I seek peace." You are peace. That shift is what Goldsmith called the Christ realization. Not a person, but the recognition of divinity as your being. From that awareness, compassion flows naturally. You stop judging. You stop competing. You start seeing God in everyone and everything, because there's no other left to separate from. The final revelation is simple. You were never apart from the source. You were never lost. You only dreamed of distance. And now you awaken, not to something new, but to what has always been true. That's why this is Revelation Reloaded, the ancient truth, reborn for the modern heart. The infinite speaking again, through you. So listen closely, not with your ears, but with your soul. Every breath whispers, I am. Every heartbeat echoes, I am. Every silence reveals, I am. There is no higher prayer, no greater revelation than to simply know, I am that I am.